So we are starting with the third part, that is with human resource management, which is dealing with human resource development. So in this module we are going to discuss about the concept of human resource development and the concept of human resource accounting also. So and we are also discussing the concept of human resource audit too. So let's get started with it. So the human resource development helps the human resources or the employees to develop their technical, behavioral, and managerial skills at all the levels of the organization. So, the human resource accounting mainly deals with the identification and the measurement of relevant information about the human resources and sharing this information with the interested parties. So, the human resource audit that we are going to discuss in the module basically analyzes and accesses different policies and different procedures and different practices for ascertaining the effectiveness of human resource management. So, whereas the HR research deals with the process of determining the task and analyzing the HR related information with an objective to provide appropriate solution for the problem which takes place in generally in the organization. So the policies of human resource acts as a guide for managing people in the organization. So it also outlines the organization philosophies, the organization values with respect to the way in which the employees must be treated. So this helps in deriving the principles based upon which the managers will act while dealing with the HR matters, that is human resource matters. So they should handle this issues so complicatedly, so that so smoothly, so that they don't make this so complicatedly, because this is very sensitive area in the organization. And now we are going to discuss about what is human resource development, the basic meaning. So if we go for the basics, so according to HRD reference, for the organization point of view, in which employees of an organization are helped, motivated to acquire and develop technical as well as managerial as well as behavioral knowledge and skills and ability that mold the values, beliefs, and attitudes necessary to perform present and future role by realizing the highest human potential with a view to contribute positively to the organization or to a group or to an individual or to a social goals. So it basically concentrates on the upliftment or empowerment of an employee in an organization. That is what meant by this definition of human resource development. It is basically concentrating on the development of human in an organization. So those learning experience which are organized for a specific time are designed to bring the possible organization goals. So now let's discuss the importance of human resource development. So in today's modern society and competitive world, tough competition exists among all different organizations due to privatization, due to liberalization, and even globalization. So this resulted in the need for changes and modifications of technology and equipments which need continuous development and updating of technology. So this in turn leads to the production of innovative or attractive products or services in the market. For this purpose, there is a need for developing human resource continuously. So we are going to discuss the following importance So the first one is changes in economic policies. So if we take the economic policies which have been significantly changed in the most of the countries, from the communist pattern to the capitalist pattern, or from the socialist pattern to the capitalist pattern. So even India has liberalized its policies in 1991. So the privatization or liberalization or globalization acted as a threat to the small and weak firms, and they provided opportunities for the large firms. They completely ignored the small firms. So in this short, so the capitalist economic policies and their effective implementation requires the development of human resources in the country. And if we go for the other important, that is modification of job requirements. So dynamic organization keeps on changing the organization's setup or the design and the job design, which in turn leads to the changes in the job description as well as job specification. So this modification and alterations demand for human resource development. So if we move on to the other importance, that is need for multi-skilled human resources. So with the changing industrialization and trends and globalization, the business it had become very essential for the employees to possess multi skills and talent for facing any situations. So organization in general prefer only those employees or candidates or individual who can produce the best output with multiple skills and knowledge by performing his job effectively. So the human resource development activities are needed as they help employees in developing multi skills and abilities. While we move on to the other important factor, that is organization viability and transformation process. So the organization viability plays the vital role in functioning of an organization, so which is continuously affected by the environmental threats. So the organization should formulate and implement strategies for dealing those changes in the environmental factors. So otherwise it will lose its share value in the market, so which will in turn affect the reputation of an organization. So before adopting these changes, the organization must firstly develop its human resources. So that is the main importance of developing the human resource. So this factor says how important is the human resource development in an organization. So if we move on to the other one, which is technology advancement. So in today's rapid changing business environment, so it is very essential for a firm to make use of its innovation and latest technology for gaining competitive advantages over their rivals or over their opponents, over their competitive firms. So, but acquiring latest technology is not enough. It should also be utilized efficiently for obtaining the best output. So this can also be done effectively if the employees knows how to operate it, how to perform the task, or which gain or demands for the need for a human resource development. So the next factor is organizational complexity. So due to the increased mechanization or automation and the industrialization, it has become very difficult to manage the process of an organization. So the organization complexity can be effectively managed with the help of human resource development. If we move on to the other factor, that is human relations, almost all the organizations are preferring and adopting human relations approach, which in turn require for this human resource development. So this is all about the importance of the human resource development in an organization for achieving, for getting more success rate and achieving the company's goals and objectives with with satisfying with the employees needs. So now we are going to discuss about the scope of human resource development. uh, the scope is very wide for human resource development, as it is mainly concerned with the people or the human resources. So it is a people oriented concept which is basically dealing with the efficient development and the management of human resource to achieve the organization goals. So as human resource development constitutes a component of is a component of human resource management, it includes all the functions of human resource management. So if we go into the details of the scope of human resource development, so so that the first one is recruitment of the employees, basically is within the scope and possibilities for developing human resources. So the other scope for this human resource development is selection of only those employees who possess the capabilities to develop their skill and ability and to fulfill their present as well as future organizational needs, they will be selected. So and the other one is examining or appraisal and enhancing the employee's performance individually or as a member of group to develop by determining the gaps in skills and knowledge. The other scope of this human resource development is it enables the employees to grasp the knowledge from their superiors through the performance consultations or performance counseling or performance interviews as well. So if we move on to the other scope, that is it provides efficient training to the employees to develop new as well as innovative technical skills as well as technical knowledge, which in turn helps for the achieving the organizational goals. So if we move on to the other scope, so developing the employee in terms of managerial as well as behavioral knowledge and skills, it develops the skills of an individual in an organization. So it also focuses on forecasting and planning about the employee's career and implementing training as well as development programs of an employee. So it also forecast and help in planning towards successful achievement of the organizational objectives and developing the employees as well in an organization. So if we move on to the last scope, that is organizational development paves the way for changing the employees behavior as well as attitude. So if we give more importance to a employee in a particular organization, his attitude or his behavior towards working for the objectives of an organization will be increasing and he will be keeping his maximum efforts in achieving the goals of the organization. So here in the organization, human resource development is much needed to achieve the organization goals. So it also speaks about the skills, development of skills and abilities of a employee in order to make him give his 100% efforts in the achieving the organizational goals. So this is the scope of human resource development, and the scope is very wide. It is mainly concentrated on functioning of the people or an human resource in an organization. So generally these human resource development scope will be in compliance with the human resource management scope, as this is a as the human resource development is a component of human resource management. So we have discussed about what is human resource development and its scope, and next we are going to discuss about the objectives of a human resource development. Now we are going to discuss the objectives of human resource development. So the basically it concentrates to for the development of employee in an organization. So it makes sure that the employees handle any situation which is associated with the job or the task in an organization, that may be either in the present or in the future. So it makes or it helps to increase the confidence level of an employee in an organization in order to handle any situation. So if we move on to the next objective, it concentrates on how to improve the skills, how to improve the knowledge of the employee as per the requirements of the organization. So it basically says involves in increasing the standard, the thinking standard or the knowledge standard in order to achieve higher goals. So it also enhances the creativity of the employees in the form of talents or abilities also. So the human resource development is concentrated to train the employees and make them ready for the superior level jobs. So it basically prepares the employees in advance. So if you move on to the other objective, that is, it is meant to share the fundamentals of human resource development skills and the knowledge with the new employees. So basically if we refer to human resource development skills, we can find similarity between the human resource management skills also, because human resource development is a component of human resource management, and this human resource management also enhance the capabilities and the efficiency of the employees to perform the next level job, because they are giving training and they are making increasing the confidence level in an employee. So this in turn will lead for the employee to perform the next level job, and it also focuses on to ensure or to encourage the individual and collective moral and sense of responsibility among the employees, among the cooperative, and also helps in building the cooperative attitudes and helps in building the effective relationships, maintaining the effective relationship among the employees. So it also provides assistance towards total quality management. So this human resource development also widen the minds of the senior level management too, by providing them different ways to interchange the experiences faced by them within the organization as well as outside the organization even. So it also majorly focuses on to make sure that the organization is carried out smoothly and effectively also. It also creates a comprehensive strategy and strategic framework for human resource development in an organization. It also helps to improve the organization capabilities too, and this help each and every individual to recognize his skill or her skill or capabilities to develop the same maximum extent in order to attain both individual as well as organizational goals. Now we are going to discuss about the problems of human resource development in industry, in IT industry, that is information technology industry. So for developing an integrated human resource development system, it is very essential to have a complete knowledge about the principles and the models of human resource development and the organizational culture and human resource development practices prevailing in the organization. So the perceptions of the employee towards the practices and the developmental climate within the organization must also be analyzed. So the main aim of human resource development is to facilitate the organization in enhancing its enabling capacities. So this is only possible by developing the human resources and the organizational health and diagnostic ability and improving problem solving capabilities in the employees, and the employee productivity and the commitment should also be considered into this one. So now we are going to discuss about the problem, that is, first problem is adaptation and modification in organizational culture. So if we see, even though the human resource development system are mainly developed according to the organizational culture, so the role of human resource development would be to change the organization culture for improving the effectiveness of the organization. So the human resource development here must move the organization towards progress, and this is possible if the design predicts the change and the evolution in the future. So if we move on to other problem, that is contextual factors. So after considering the different contextual factors of the organization, like for suppose such as culture, tradition, size, and technology, and levels of prevailing skills, etc., all this. So the different issues, like the elements which are to be included in this human resource development system, the way in which these elements must be subdivided, and the designations and the titles which must also be used are also addressed in this contextual factors, so that we can say some problematic condition for the industry. So if we move on to the next one, that is creating linkages with other functions. So the human resource development system must be designed for reinforcing the other functions in the company, like long run corporate planning and budgeting and financing and marketing and production, etc. All this, like they have these linkages. These linkages are very essential for an organization. So if we move on to the next one, that is specialization and diffusion of the function. So even though the human resource development includes specialized functions, line staff has to participate in different aspects of human resource development. So line people are held responsible only for their action, and human resource development must enforce these roles. So if you move on to the next one, that is rapid technological changes or rapid changes in the technology. So the world has a as the organization, the world as well as the organization even which are operating in it are facing rapid changes in the technology. So the most critical challenge which is faced by this human resource development is to provide the changing technologies to its workers as well as its employees. So if we move on to the next problem, that is strong competition. So due to the emergence of this globalization in 1991 in India, the entries of multinational corporations and the rapid changes in the technology, the Indian organizations are undergoing a tough competitiveness or a tough competition. So this human resource development is facing a challenge to survive in the market and face this competition successfully. So if you move on to the next problem, that is instant response to market. And so if you talk about an efficient and along with it effective human resource development can obtain a benefit of quick and instant response to the market. So adapting a new quick benefit policies must be implemented. And if you move on to the next one, that is high product differentiation, that relates in attaining very low manufacturing cost. So with an increase in the competitiveness or the competition and the easy availability of the substitutes with low manufacturing cost, developing a distinct product which can meet the needs of the customer acts as a biggest problem for this human resource managers. If we talk about the Indian market, so all the plastic or the electronics which are sold basically in India are either manufactured in China or either imported from the other countries. So because of this, so the Indian companies can't manufacture the products at that cheap price because the availability of resources is very less when compared to that country, and the technology advancement of that country also leads to this situation. So let us discuss about the models of human resource development. So the human resource development models are used to develop competencies in employees as well as to motivate them. So these models also help in building the organizational climate. So there are various human resource development models. So we are going to discuss each and everything. So we are going with the first one, that is manpower planning. So the manpower planning is a process of determining manpower requirements and the means for meeting the requirements in order to carry out an integrated plan of an organization. So now we are going to discuss about the objectives. So now we are going to discuss about the objectives of the manpower planning. So the main objectives of the manpower planning are to forecast the human requirements, so in order to meet the demands of an organization. In short, to forecast future. So if we move on to the next objective, that is to ensure optimal utilization of the existing manpower in an organization. So it sets a standard or a base model to ensure the optimum utilization of all the workers in an organization, and it majorly focus on to provide regulatory measures to ensure the availability of adequate manpower also. It also describes the link of manpower planning with corporate planning, and it also focuses on to access the surplus and the shortage of a manpower, because both are overstaffing. So and understaffing may be highly demotivated in the organization. So this may lead to any damage in the production, or this may lead to not achieving the objectives or the goals of the organization. So if we move on to the next one, it is also focused on anticipation of the impact of technology on manpower and the job. And if we move on, it also determines the extent of recruitment and the extent of training, and it also focuses on to maintain or to identify the cost to be incurred in maintaining the manpower. It also serves as a basis for management development programs, and finally it will guide the productivity bargaining too. This helps to achieve maximum profits by the organization. So when we talk about the manpower planning, it is forward looking or future oriented. So it is basically in forecasting the manpower requirements or the needs in the future time in order to meet the organizational requirements. So this manpower planning is a continuous process as the demand for and the supply of the manpower undergoes frequent changes. It is fluctuating in accordance with the organizational requirements basically, and it also changes the environment of the organization. So if we speak about it in detail, it is an integral part of corporate planning. So there is no manpower planning without corporate planning. So the success of manpower planning depends upon how well the goals are to be defined of an organization. Now we are going to discuss about the next model of human resource development, that is performance appraisal and the feedback. So if we move on to the definition of this performance appraisal and feedback, so it defines the performance as performance appraisal as a system of evaluation of an individual with regard to his or her performance on a job and the potential for development. So if we move on to the definition in detail, so this performance appraisal is a systematic, it is a periodic, and it is an impartial rating of an employee excellence in matter of pertaining his present job and the potential for the better job. So here we are basically analyzing the performance of an employee in an organization. So if we move on to the next one, the objectives of this performance appraisal and the feedback. So the first objective of this model is providing training and development. So the performance appraisal aims at finding out the capabilities of an employee in performing out a particular job. So suitable training and development will be given. Development activities are taken up for the organization in order to improve the lacking capabilities in an and to strengthen the abilities of an employee to face the present as well as the future work related problems also. If we move on to the next objective of this performance appraisal and feedback, we can also say it is also concerned with the decisions regarding the compensation and the rewards. That is, so this there will be salary hikes or compensation plans or incentive payments or providing rewards and so on. So the performance appraisal can be of two types. So it can be formal and it can be informal also. So informal performance appraisal is suitable to small sized organizations, not for large or giant industries. It is suitable for small scale organizations. So on the other hand, the formal performance appraisal is suitable for big organization wherein the due to lack of direct contact or performance or appraisal is done on yearly basis. So usually salary hike replies upon the performance levels of an individual employees. So if we move on to the next objective, that is providing the feedback. So after performance evaluation, so feedback will be provided to each individual in an organization on respective to their performance in an organization. So feedback provides information to employees regarding how did they perform their task and the desired performances expected for his or her role. So it is basically they are giving the rating of an employee in an organization. And if we move on to the next objective of this performance appraisal and feedback, it is basically concerned with decision related to promotions and demotions too. So this performance appraisal is a process of evaluating the work performance of an employees, their strength and the weakness, etc. On the basis of this data, an organization decides upon whether an employee is to be performed or demoted or placed in the same position or not. Apart from this decision, the various other decisions like transfer, removal of employees, or all these matters will be involving in this, comes under this decision related to promotion and demotion. So if we move on to the next one, that is improving the relationship. So this model is also focused on improving the relationship of its superiors and subordinates in possible way. When the parties of both sides understand their respective performances are interlinked, so the employees behavior can be changed by allowing them to participate in self appraisal process or objectives. It is basically concerned with appraisal and empowerment of an employee in an organization. We are going to discuss about other model, that is career planning and career development. So if we talk about what is career planning, so it is a process of planning which helps the employees to maintain an equilibrium between their career goals and their prevailing opportunities in an organization. So it basically defined as becoming aware of self, opportunities or choices or consequences. So it also deals with the identifying the career related goals and the programming work and education and related development experiences to provide the direction, timing and sequence of steps which are required to attain a specific career goal. So if we speak about the characteristics of this career planning, it is a process of personal development and it is an ongoing process which moves along with the changing business environment. It majorly aims to combining the individual needs with the organizations. So this is all about career planning, and this is also one of the human resource development subsystem and it is having a vital consideration. And this career planning programs laid down with an effective objectives to facilitate both the personal and the organizational as well. So if we move on to the next one, that is career development. So if we speak about this career development, it is nothing but career planning plus career management which leads to this career development. So it is defined as an ongoing process by which individual progress through the series of stages, so each of which is characterized and respectively unique set of issues or themes or task. So first of all, in this career development we have to find the need of the present system and we have to identify the vision of an organization, direction of the growth, and then we have to define an action plan, practical measures which help us to obtain the vision, and the results of this career development will be an ongoing process. It is an ongoing process of maintaining and revising the career development programs. So if we move on to the next one, that is training and development. So to understand this method, we have to understand the meanings of two terms, that is training and development. So if we see the definition of the training, so generally training is an act of increasing the knowledge and the skills of an employee for doing a particular job. So it is also defined as like training is any process with by which the attitudes and skill and abilities of an employee to perform a specific job are improved. So there is need of identification of training needs in an organization. So for that we have to analyze the organization and analyze its objectives, and we have to even analyze the resource utilization, and we have to scan the environment of an organization to conduct this training programs. So if we move on to the development part, so it is an attempt to improve the managerial effectiveness through a learning process. So a long term or a systematic future oriented programs, conducting of these programs to groom the future of a managers and imparting the managerial knowledge and skills required for a successful manager to organize an organization, that is known as development. And if we see about the objectives of development is to create an army of great managers for an organization future requirements. So it also determines the way in which the firm can produce managers from within the organization who can be prepared for carrying out their jobs at all levels. So this concept is concerned with the training and development of an employee. So if we move on to the next topic, that is potential appraisal and promotion. So in this potential appraisal and promotion methodology, in this method the potential appraisal and the promotional model of the human resource development, the potential of an employee is critically analyzed for the purpose of future development and for the purpose of promotion even. So it mainly emphasizes on determining the potential of an employee in handling the higher level responsibilities, and the promotion is given on the basis of the potential of an employee. So in an organization, if they want to promote any employee, so they'll be adopting this strategy, the potential appraisal, and then they'll be furtherly proceeding with this methodology. So it is not considered as a reward, but it is considered for the organizational benefit. So if we move on to the next methodology, that is compensation and reward. So the human resource development or the department compensate and the reward the employees by considering their performance and their behavior in the organization. So it is necessary to reward employees who gives outstanding performance, as the failure to reward these employees will result in dissatisfaction of these employees among the employees, and it may lead to a negative impact regarding the organization. So it is mostly observed that the salary is given to the employees on the basis of job analysis, while the employees are compensated or rewarded on the basis of performance. So this should be very clear while giving the salary or promotion or compensation or a reward. So next methodology is role analysis and development. So if we look into the model, it is an individual is analyzed by considering his role instead of considering his job. So basically in this method an employee, his superior and his subordinates sit together and make decisions regarding their prospective jobs. So role analysis or role development and role description are significant functions of human resource department. So if we move on to the next one, that is quality of work life. So generally this method of quality of work life defines and interpreted differently by different people. So, and it has various meanings. If we refer to the quality of relationship which exist among the employees and the overall working environment, so the quality of work is defined as a degree to which work in an organization contributes to matter and psychological well-being of an member. So it generally describes the psychological condition and the physical presence of a how the quality is concerned with this employee working conditions in an organization. When generally this is described in this methodology. If we move on to the next methodology, that is communication. So the communication helps in an effective integration of the managers as well as the employees. So communication will be effective when the listener pays full attention to the speaker. So if he doesn't pay any attention, then there is no proper communication taking place there. So and thoroughly understands the viewpoint, so he have to pay the full attention and have to thoroughly understand the viewpoint and the objective of the speaker. If he doesn't pay any attention, that is useless of time. So if we move on to the next methodology, that is counseling. So it is a relationship which exists between the two individuals, particularly a manager who is providing assistance or a counselor and an employee to whom the assistance is given. So counselor is termed as a counseling in this methodology. So generally the manager will be assisting his employees. So this process comes under this counseling methodology, which is very essential and which is very required in an organization. Now we are going to discuss about the HR audit and what is the definition of it. So if we move on to the definition of human resource audit, so it is an audit it is a comprehensive analysis of transactions which are already completed, so as to ascertain whether they reflect the true state of affairs of a business or not. So a human resource audit basically analyzes and assesses the different policies, the different procedures, the different practices for ascertaining the effectiveness of a human resource management. So it basically concerned about whether the true affairs of a business are reflected or not. It is majorly concerned in reflecting the true state of affairs of a business. So this human resource audit generally deals with measurement of various strategies, various objectives and various programs and procedures of human resource management for determining its effectiveness. And if we speak about the ascertainment, so it also concerned about the ascertainment of what is required to be done and what is not required to be done in future to such measurements. So it is basically a comprehensive analysis of transactions which are completed in a business to reflect the affairs of a business. It is concerned with the reflection of the affairs of a particular business. So if we understand what is the need for this human resource audit, so generally it is concerned with the number of employees. So that there is a need for formal audit which relies on the total number of employees of an organization. So even a small firm having small number of employees requires less formal audit when compared to the large firm having large number of employees. So maintaining this human resource audit is mandatory even though it is a small firm or even though it is a large firm or even though it is a giant firm. So if we move on to the next one, that is structure of organization. By maintaining the human resource information department, So the process of giving continuous feedback can also be done easily in the organization. So it defines the HR audit defines the structure of the organization. So if we move on to the next one, that is effective communication, the need of formal audit can be reduced with the help of effective two-way communication system. So this also improvises the communication system. If anyone goes through the HR audit accounts, they can ascertain the value of the firm, they can ascertain the reputation or the image of a firm in the market. So if we move on to the next one, that is location. So there is a need for formal audit is which is directly associated with the number of remote plants. So there will be plants of the organization in remote areas that to be taken care. So even it describes the status of industrial relations between the managers. So the need of formal audit will be less if the industrial relation manager participates in the plans or in the discussion and decisions of the top management. If we move on to the next one, that is administration. So administration, when there is a greater delegation of authority and decentralization of power, we will be required with the formal audit process in order to not in order to remove the centralization, or in order to remove the authority from the few hands of an organization. So that basically delegation of authority and decentralization of power in an organization will help the organization to take decisions very quickly, so that to attain the objectives of a organization easily. We are going to discuss about the objectives of human resource audit. So to examine the entire management program system in which a business design or assigns or the managers of human resources, for ascertaining the effectiveness of these programs, we need to conduct an HR audit, and we also need to conduct the analysis for obtaining the answers to the questions like what happened and why did this happen in an organization. So if we conduct an HR audit, so we can easily find what is happening to the organization and why did it happen to the organization also. So if we move on to the next one, that is to analyze the degree to which the line managers execute the policies which have already introduced to access the performance of an employees of a staff. So like the primary purpose of this HR audit is to know how the various units are functioning and how they have been able to meet the policies and the guidelines which were upon on that one. So to generally it is concerned with assist the rest of the organization by identifying the gap between the objectives and the results for the end product of an evaluation, and it also helps us to formulate the plans for the correctionness or for the corrections or for the adjustments in this gap between the objectives and the results of an end product. So it is basically concerned with improvising or achieving the organizational goals or objectives and find where it lacks or where it is lacking in achieving the objectives. So now we are going to discuss the techniques of human resource development. So the techniques or the term methods are similar, which we have already discussed the methods. So these techniques, as we discussed, we have a performance appraisal technique or career planning, etc. So these are basically the human resource development framework results into various outcomes by ensuring the development skills and knowledge to the employees and providing with the various benefits like employee training and giving compensation and rewards, and it also focuses on team building and cooperation between the groups, between the staff members, in order to gain the competitiveness, in order to gain the advantages of the market. So this is the end for this module. And this in this module we have discussed about the human resource development and its importance and its scope and objectives of the human resource development. And we also discussed the problems of human resource development system in IT industry. And we also discussed about the various models of human resource developments. And thanks for watching this video.